Children are born now, wondering what it is about that deprived childhood that the adults around them always care about. Isn't it better now? Those days were so difficult. What is there to be so nostalgic about? Perhaps children will never understand, and they will never have the opportunity to experience those incomplete memories. Those miserable memories of those nights where many things in the house were unfinished. The mother was struggling to thread the needle and mend the small holes in the shirt, a work of art from her naughty son, who dared to climb the neighbor's fence and steal mangoes with his friends in the village. Dad sits and watches television with a TV that has exactly 2 stations, watching it over and over again every day. As he watched, his father glanced at his son sitting sobbing at the desk. He diligently copied down a few misspelled articles. After copying, he sat down to practice spelling. Oh. It's true that children see studying as torture. That atmosphere was broken by a pop at the house, the road, the alley became dark. Even without an appointment, the children in the neighborhood ran out of the house at once, playing together, their voices echoing throughout the small neighborhood. They spread out mats, lightly brushed off the dust, played with toys together, and when bored, they lay down with their heads together and looked at the stars. Hey, these stars look like cats, this one looks like a snake, that one looks like a dragon. It's true that back then, the power went out for a few hours, but it was so fun. Later, that simple joy will forever follow the children, who are also now adults. There were shortages in those days, and electricity was often lost, but that couldn't stop the children from being happy that day. There's also the shortage of rainy days when you can't sleep. The beds printed with pictures of superheroes, Hello Kitty, princesses, etc. that the children insisted their mothers buy at the market are now soaked. Plastic tubs, aluminum tubs, bathroom buckets, and even tiny plastic cups are really useful now. They are used to catch rainwater leaking from the roof and even walls that are about to become moldy. Even when the rain stopped, the lax took turns flying into the house, looking for a place with light, then gathered together in one place. The children poured a basin full of water and shined a flashlight into it to lure the lax. They were delighted. I'm so smart. Now the children of that day have become adults, with warm blankets and soft mattresses but unable to sleep because of the chaos of life, including food, clothing, and money, and dozens of receipts coming together in droves. That day, running around to collect rainwater, it was really tiring, really extreme, but so happy. There is no way to find such joy now. The only way is to watch the rain in the heart of a modern city, lacking nothing, and remember the days gone by. How can I forget the memory of the rattan whip with the whole head split open by the mother, who used to go from house to house every afternoon to look for her child who had gone out to play and forgotten how to get home. I called you back a long time ago. Why haven't you come back to eat and take a nap? Also, do you want to be beaten? The shouting scared them, but it seemed like the next day, they forgot the way home. Sometimes when they come home, their mother cooks a lot of delicious dishes, but they always eat them quickly so they can go to the neighbor's house to watch the upcoming cartoon, or play with the newly bought robots. Being beaten, but not afraid. Later, when they grew up, no one used a rattan whip to hit the children anymore, but they still suffered. Because, where are those days? Back then, we were in such poverty that even though we pooled all our pocket money together, we still couldn't buy a big kite to play together. So they had to sit back and painstakingly cut and paste paper kites, then fix them with bamboo chopsticks or a few small tree branches they picked up in their garden. Do it with great enthusiasm. When the wind picked up, the children gathered together to fly and then held their dissatisfied faces, because they tried dozens of ways and their kite still refused to fly. But the sadness didn't last long. The scent of grilled squid and grilled fish filled their noses. Then the children flocked to the familiar line again. They spent all their pocket money in one afternoon on some very sour pieces of toad dipped in shrimp paste, some skewers of bonbon, and even some glasses of soft drink that their parents did not let them drink because it was harmful to their health. Maybe kids today will never understand. The memories of those days of deprivation cannot be brought back, no matter how much you use them, and no amount of fancy words can bring them back. Memories of those days, things to hold, smell, listen to, can now only be found with nostalgia.